the mountains again. It's a good feeling. Back into the Smokies. Almost back to North Carolina. I still got a little ways. Probably close to an hour, 45 minutes. Had to make a stop at a Walmart of all places, but I had to make a stop because this morning my check oil light came on, which I was expecting. This bike, over the course of an oil change, will burn about between a pint and a quart of oil, and I'm way into the oil change at this point. And I'm going to run a little longer than I normally would, just because of the fact that I don't want to try and do one on the road next weekend when I'm at home. But at this point, I had to top it off. Put a pint in this morning. We'll see where I'm at tomorrow. And if I need to put the rest of the quart in, I've got it in my side case and brought the funnel with, so not a big deal. Annoying, but not a big deal. It's just sort of par for the course with running this bike this long. It's just the way it goes. I had to do the same thing in Alaska and on the way home from Alaska, so it's not a big deal. At least I was able to get real motorcycle oil this time. In Alaska, the oil that we put in our bikes was just regular motor oil because we were on the haul road, the Dalton Highway, and both of our bikes started to have it. Mine actually got to the point where it was to the point where I was like, really had to do something. I didn't think about doing it when we were Charles Brothers, so we did our oil change after we got back from Dead Horse, and that got us home. And not a big deal, just something I had to be aware of, and I knew, like I said, I knew it was coming. Now, this is a small, relatively small, it's a 1200cc, fairly high revving engine, and it's something they're known for, especially the Gen 1s. I don't know if the Gen 2s are or not, but 2012, 2013s, they are known to burn a little bit of oil over the course of their oil change, which is not that big a deal. It's just part of it. They lose a little bit over the course of the run, which is just the way it goes. A lot of vehicles do. So, like I said, it's a pint, which is 2 cups. It's not like I would put in a lot of extra. And this should get me home no problem, because I'll be at about 5,500, 6,000 miles when I get home on the oil change. It'll be about 5,000, I think. And I'm heading north, so I'm on the downhill slide of the trip. And, this trip has been very good for me. I've gotten away, avoided work thoughts, and then thought about other things that I needed to get through. So it's a fantastic thing. Just taking in some of the beauty and enjoying the mountain air. And I'm not even to the most beautiful part yet, which is coming up. That's the Blue Ridge Parkway. Still beautiful to see. officially on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Got a long ways to go on it. But we'll see how far I get tonight. I'm not pushing super hard. Probably another 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. It's 20 to 4 now. Probably a little bit over 3 hours. We'll see where I end up. A couple hours from now, I'll make a decision, come to a deciding point, and figure out where I need to go. But it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful ride so far. I'm surprised the condition of the road. There was pretty potted, chuckled on the first section, but man, it's gorgeous. That's hardcore, man. Bicycling on this.
All right. So I wasn't super talkative this afternoon of the ride, so I'm doing a little bit of talking now as I'm preparing the video. I'm not sure if it was just that I was getting worn down from the trip or overwhelmed with the beauty of the road. See that I stopped a fair amount of times and took some pictures and stuff, but if obviously not all of the stops on the Blue Ridge, because if you stop at every scenic overlook on the Blue Ridge, you're never getting anywhere because that road has got a ton of scenic overlooks. There sometimes it's a half mile or less between overlook sites, and I just sort of pick and choose as you go. That's the only way you can get through it. It's a beautiful ride. Um, and I'll pop back in here a little bit later to give a little bit more of my thoughts. Thanks for coming along. starting to wind down the day at this point and figure out where I was going to stay for the night. I ended up in Ashville, North Carolina, which current day is suffering the effects of Tropical Storm Helene, formerly Hurricane Helene, that hit Florida and up through Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, impacted Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, just massive damage and flooding all over from that storm. So my heart goes out to them. Um, a lot of the spots that I was at on this trip were heavily impacted, and it's devastating and heartbreaking. Uh, all that said, this trip and my time on the Blue Ridge, this is only the first portion of the Blue Ridge. I've got one more full day on it after this. That'll be in the next video. It was just fantastic. The scenery is just unreal. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The Smokies are incredible. And I urge you, once things are stabilized there after all of this storm damage, do your best to make a trip out there. Um, a lot of these towns are heavily driven by tourist dollars. And if they don't, if we don't go back as soon as possible and start getting those funds in there, some of these communities may die and or some of these businesses may die just simply because of the horrendous damage that they're going through right now as I'm recording this. Um, there's significant loss of life as well. So as you're planning your trips for 2025, please keep the Blue Ridge and Southeast in your thoughts because it's definitely is an area that's going to need our support going forward. And just so happens to be good timing for my video to for this to come out because, like I said, I ended up this day in Asheville, North Carolina, and it the photos and videos that I've seen out of Asheville are just devastating. I-40 and near that area is closed and partially washed away. Interstate Highway 40. I mean, we're talking about a major, major highway that crosses the majority, if not the entire United States. So, like I said, if you can, when you get the chance, get down there, support these people, or give to the Red Cross or other organizations. Try and help. All right. Thanks for coming along for the ride today. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that stuff. Thanks for coming along again. Until next time, this is Driftless Biker. Out for now.